Nasdaq has always been the place where hot growth companies go to become, grown-up companies.
I view Nasdaq as a vehicle to help companies raise capital for liquidity or for growth capital.
When I think about Nasdaq versus NYSE, I think they're very similar.
I think of the Nasdaq as being built its brand and its business on technology companies.
We've been a cash flow positive company. We had a lot of cash. It was more of a marketing driven event for us. So we were certainly looking at and we looked at Nasdaq and NYSE, what both companies could bring to us from a marketing perspective.
At the time that you go public, it's a very, very big deal. And I do think Nasdaq is incredible at throwing events. I mean, I think they think of themselves as a media company. I think of them as a bit of an event company.
As a CEO of a company that's growing fast and wants to get its name out there, bring in new investors, build its brand, for me, it's all about execution and marketing.
I don't think I see a difference in either exchange. They both serve a function of providing liquidity to companies or to private companies.
I see them as a technology leader, but I can't really apply that technology to a benefit at the moment. And when you have innovation, you have to tell people what it is. It doesn't magically pass from the company to the audience. You have to communicate out that innovation, and more important, you have to communicate out why that innovation is good.
I see Nasdaq as the exchange for high growth, innovative tech companies. I perceive the New York Stock Exchange as old school, blue chip, which is not necessarily a selling point because it's not tied to growth or innovation.
I kind of think of them as an innovation company because they're helping companies go public that are innovative companies. To what degree has Nasdaq changed the game using technology? And I'm not an expert, and I don't know that this is even true, but my perception is they really did many years ago.
The general image would be, okay, Nasdaq technology company, I could see innovation as being a key fundamental principle of the organization, something that they value, where, pointing to, wow, they've been massively innovative here, there, or otherwise. And I guess that's not the image that comes to mind when I think about it.
I definitely, would probably think of Nasdaq as more innovative. I think, again, each company probably has a different view.
The heritage of the innovation of Nasdaq is very strong. I think they've just kind of lost the edge a little bit, where 15 years ago when we were taking companies, probably it was like night and day. They were the innovative exchange. New York was out of it, wasn't even involved in tech or innovation. And I think the New York Exchange has sort of caught up to them, so I don't perceive big differences today.
It's not really easy to figure out what services Nasdaq has. You've looked at their website, I'm sure. It's kind of like a book online. There's nothing that draws you in.
I think the exchanges need to understand the culture and dynamics of what are going on inside these companies.
And probably I want to partner with the strongest brand. In my mind, the strongest brand is New York Stock Exchange, because it's the big board, the most volume. It's in New York. You can make a big splash. No.
Something market exchange, I'm gonna guess, but I don't know.
No, I've never heard of Nasdaq OMX.
Yes, it's a very confusing name of what I think of as Nasdaq. I would create client service teams to make it easy for the client, me, to get whatever they need, and have those teams work together in a more seamless way.
I think they're being out-marketed and out-executed by New York right now. It feels like they've fallen behind the New York Stock Exchange, and they need to be more focused, more aggressive in kind of marketing their brand, reaching out to promising companies. and not giving away their core business to New York Stock Exchange.
This is my experience at IBM. When they had to fix a problem like this at IBM, what we did is we formed a team from outside the company. We brought them in, focused primarily on recreating IBM's image, and we took a negative brand and returned it to a multi-billion-dollar brand. And it taught me that sometimes you have to do things from the outside. You have to bring in fresh blood. More important, you have to bring in people that are willing to break a few things to make them work.